What were the best investments you did, being it energy, attention, time, whatever?
I think all the additional education and training sessions I did were always a great investment. So knowing yourself better is, I think, the greatest gift you can give to yourself, to find that inner peace and to really be aware of your strengths and weaknesses, because the moment I'm in contact with my clients, I bring myself. So as you know, we're full body intervention. And so it's good that I know myself really well. That's one thing. The other thing, 2 years ago, I took 8 months off. So I thought I'd like to take just time for myself, have no plans in my calendar. I had only 1 week. The first week in Arizona, in the US, was planned, and the rest was no plans at all. And I really wanted to step into that space with no ideas what's next and allow life to happen, actually, which is a great experience. And it means also you have to kind of leave your fears somewhere and explore what's there. And it was a very inspirational journey. Not just that I got my dog, but also I met fantastic people. I went to the States, to Africa, which I deeply love. And I looked at social projects where I could maybe also support and contribute. I stayed in Europe. I went back to the US to attend conferences. So it was a very interesting journey changed something in my life. And I found also a new apartment, which was the best investment. Fantastic place.
Last week we met at Falco and we talked about splendid isolation and saying no. Are you good in saying no?
Yes, I think so.
How do you do it?
I say no.
And that's it?
I think this is,
And you feel good with it?
Maybe I would say 80% of the time. Yeah, sometimes there's still maybe I feel guilty that I don't do this. But I sometimes have the feeling it's more the upbringing, So if you don't do this, you will be punished. And I don't want to punish myself anymore. So if I have the feeling something is not good for myself, why should I do it? And
how did you come to this clarity of mind?
Well, it is a step-by-step approach. So it was not that I woke up one day and said no, but it's really something where you had to make one step after the other or at a time. And when we want to do something that's important to us, life is challenging us whether we are serious about that. Let me give you an example.
No. I was just testing. Yeah, it works. Yeah.
It works, isn't it? It's easy.
It works.
Yeah. Maybe one example. When I worked at IBM, I traveled the world. Every week I was working somewhere around the globe, which was fun for a certain period of time. But after a while, I was really tired. I missed my family. I missed home. I missed doing things on a regular basis. So I decided that I want to stop traveling, or at least reduce it. And what happened was that I had it in my mind. I thought, this is what I need to tell my boss and my colleagues. And before I actually talked to them, they said to me, Erika, we have this new big role and project. Are you interested? Would you like to do it? Of course, it involves traveling. And now I was at that point. I thought I had decided that I want to reduce traveling. And here they give me this big, nice carrot. And the question now is, do you say no, or will you take the carrot? And this is something I experience quite often. Whenever we decide to do something, life is testing whether you're serious about it or not. And I said no to this offer because I knew that if I continued eating the big carrots, nothing's going to change. So.
And the analogy of the carrot implies that there is a stick and it's always far away from you and it's moving.
No, but I think that sometimes life is testing whether we are serious. Yeah, it's like if I say, and this is I hear quite often in organizations, we should be more open, and everyone says, yeah, let's be more open. Okay, so 2 days later, there comes a big crisis. Okay, so what is it? What am I telling now the people?
You are also the boss of employees. Is it easy to say no to them?
I think if you're clear inside, yes, it's easy, but it's not always easy, of course, especially if there's something they need urgently. And this is also something I hear quite often from the managers and executives I work with, that, people are standing in their room, they want so much every single day. And the question is also, how clear am I, about setting boundaries? Because it happens to me quite often that people give me a call and they want an immediate reaction, and I can't and I don't want to. So I just say, I know it's urgent. Can I call you back? And just by saying, can I call you back, I maybe gained myself half an hour. Or the same is true if clients, if we're working on a big project, and they need more details, and I know that I'd like to spend a bit more time on the details or the essence or the content, that I call them and I say, is it okay if I have one additional day? So I'm trying to gain more time for myself. And I think the same is true if people are stepping into your office and they say, do you have a minute? No, but can I call you back? And this is something we have to learn also, to be clear about our boundaries. And otherwise, emotions are kind of growing, and then people explode, which is not necessary. If I'm clear about my boundaries, I don't have to be aggressive to say no.
So if you are clear with your boundaries, does it never happen that you get overwhelmed, overbooked, or does it happen? And if it happens, how do you handle it then?
Of course it happens, So of course it happens, and there are days where I have to feel, leave me alone, all of you, it's just too much. But it's actually me who didn't take good care of myself, And I really believe that 80% of the stress we have is made up by ourselves. And how do I deal with it? Yeah, good question. Different methods. Sometimes I just breathe, I remind myself to breathe. I take maybe 1, 2, 3 deep breaths and just calm down. Or maybe I walk around for 5 minutes, go outside in nature, again breathe. Or maybe I do a morning meditation, something that calms me down, something that kind of brings me back to my center. And I'm responsible for that. It's not the environment. I'm responsible for that. So, and this is something, the more you do it, the easier it is to find back. Or just say, something I love actually telling myself is, I can't do more than my best, and everything will be fine, Erika. Relax, trust the unfolding plan, trust, what is going to happen. You have everything inside. So it's like a very kind and loving relationship with myself.
Trust the unfolding plan. Beautiful. Is there something on your bucket list, something you would like to explore, to learn, to visit? I'm a very curious mind, so I want to explore a lot. But the first thing, actually, because I love beach volleyball and it's on my bucket list since years, I would love to play beach volleyball for 4 weeks or 6 weeks in a row, being on the beach every day, beach volleyball. I love it. But also traveling the world with my partner. This is something, maybe again taking half a year or a year off and traveling the world, meeting different cultures, getting inspiration, doing different stuff. So expanding on different levels, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So, and I think a lot of people say, I always wanted to write my own book, but of course that's something, maybe creating more products that are useful and beneficial for other people. So to also have something you can sell and give away and